Yeah, we got Wavy. I always thought that announcement rapping on my own.
Yeah.
We came out CBD.
Well, of course. I mean, this is family owned. This is Hendrix family owned. You know, and also using the products like what I like using is actually like CBD rub. Yeah, I like using that. But smoking it, it actually is more of a
calmer.
Yeah,
And
calmer,
anxiety, like,
relaxing.
Yeah, it was
You
solid.
know?
She was high. It was definitely a little bit different. But it was
Yeah.
huge.
Oh yeah, come on.
Shout out.
Shout out. Yeah, for sure.
Make sure to check it.
Please check out my supplies fast. They're doing a sale right now.
Ready for some?
Like experience, definitely, experiment on that, and figure out whether or not.
Yep.
Oh
man.
Next, you guys figure out anyway,
Oh, they wait for it.
All right. So, 2 years being at our storefront location, 4200 Rainer Avenue South, we decided that it's time, us three, Cody's not here, Anthony, he's not here, but here in spirit, he really had an emergency to tend to. So, he gave us a full blessing to, release the news and everything. Don't stop for him. So, after 2 years of being storefront owners, especially at a young age, with both of us, well, all three of us being at the age of 25, we're 95 babies. So that's also, what's just united us is just having that, being 95 babies. There's just so much strength to that. But that being said,
we want to bring it back to the 90s, on a way of how we're going to bring out or just introduce our brand and our
exactly.
Go mobile.
Going mobile.
Going mobile.
Going mobile.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Literally. And so,
neighborhood, community, town. Of course, we're in this digital age where it's really big to post things online in order to get your business going. But I think we're losing that, that one-on-one.
Exactly. The personability, like you're missing that, and that's why I'm hoping that Cousin Leon gets to tap into this episode, because when we did the episode, Leon reflecting on the summer of love, 69 and stuff, you hear of the stories of how personable things were. Like, people just got up and go. Like how Woodstock was. People heard that it was just a crazy, concert festival that was just going on all the way in New York, and they made that cross country trip at the top of the hat. And these were kids. These were 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 20-year-olds. You gotta think, if they had that drive back then, we have that same drive. It's just not that personal, where people are rather willing to travel for TikTok and shoot videos rather than actually have a product and travel with that product and be able to physically see people, meet people, shake their hand, give them a good product, unless, you're selling CDs. That's kind of like played out nowadays. It's kind of like downplayed, but you got to appreciate that hustle. Like, that's someone who's, really one-on-one with it. And yeah, we're just trying to bring back that feel. We feel like that was a key element that was missing from that Summer of Love era, that old school era, is that when you wanted something to happen, when you wanted a brand to pop, you just went and hit the road with it. You actually bet on yourself by being that person, being that salesperson for, having that belief in what you were doing. And with us, it's not so much the product; it's more of we help the community. With what we do, more than anything, we have our swag, we have our exclusive items, like, where we do stuff crazy to it, but at that same time, we have the ability to get things and consistently have that affordable cost in over time. That's why, with that post that we put on the page, although it's a relevant challenge, that 10 years challenge, the way we look at it is looking at that photo. That should be what these new business owners, or whoever aspires to do anything in life, reflecting on like the past and just how they voted. You just look at those two photos and tell me what's changed. And not much changed, because we've always had that same mission. Like, that's we've always been on the same path, and we've always had that loyalty. And so I think that 10 years challenge proves that more than anything, is that we've stayed together with that same mindset of always going forward. And this is a big step going forward as far as just reaching out to everybody. And even Lou was there, when we were secretly moving out, this past week or so. And there's people who were stopping by, of course, and just thinking that we were just open and everything, and then seeing us moving and everything, and they're just like, what's going on? But when we told them, on the low, they were mind blown by it, and all they could do was give us our flowers for that moment. And Lou knows, someone particular in the community who, he stays across the street from the shop. He was just like, man, seeing you guys, from the ground up, losing friends, continuing to go, continuing to better the community. Man, there's nothing you guys else could do for the community. Right. And that's where it kind of hit me, for us to spring this decision so quickly, because we did it all on our terms. We don't have no debt. We don't owe nobody no money. We don't we don't do nothing.
You guys need to really preach that to the
exactly.
You can really be a young black business
exactly.
So I kind of have a question for both of you two, as being the owners of the first Black-owned thrift store in Seattle. That is history, literally history. First Black-owned thrift store in
Absolutely.
Seattle.
In Seattle and in Washington.
And in Washington.
Come on.
And in Washington.
We just worried about the town, though, man.
Come on.
But my question to both of you is, what have each of you learned while running the first Black-owned thrift store in Seattle? So both of you just kind of go into it and just talk about things you might not have expected at first, and the hardships and how you've overcome.
Oh yeah, there's definitely hardships. I mean, like, for me personally, just having a business, I always knew that if I have this space, I can do so much for the community with just this space.
Absolutely.
I can, plug the bro to let him sell his clothing out of this, out of our store, or if they want to do a video game tournament, they can be in our store. If they want to do photos, anything like that, they can be in our store. But overall, what I learned from that experience is that we didn't have the spacing for all of the ideas that we wanted to do. Yeah. And so I think with us going mobile right now, we're going to have unlimited space to be able to do that work. We have unlimited, man, the ideas
and
are just
we have so many people that like in the Bay Area that want your guys' product.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
Now they can probably get access. So
exactly.
Yes. And also we could finally reach out to the people that are out of state and that, have, showed their following and really messed with us since day one. So
exactly. And I mean, this is just the new wave. Like, we're all in one, and that just kind of just like includes all types of artistry, right? Like going mobile won't only benefit the clothes aspect, but musically we're all artists, and we plan on having pop-up concerts and stuff like that. We plan on giving people a platform to have, like, if there's local artists, basically it's going to be built on the fact of we'll send out posts on where to be. You can also DM us for private, visits and private, shopping little inquiries and stuff like that. But with that being said, people will have the opportunity to, if when we pull up to public locations, to sign up to perform, put on little set lists and stuff like that, and it'll all be affordable. And basically, what we're trying to do is we're trying to expand the platform, go beyond of what our capabilities and what anybody else has tried, because we're not some people who are just stuck up on what we like and what we dislike and stuff like that. No, we want everybody to eat. We want everybody to get their flowers, regardless if you did emo music to if you did crazy trap music. Like,
you guys are definitely open to all types of all forms of creation.
Oh yes, straight up. Creativity is creativity, and if it's coming from the town, we want people to know about it, because there's so much unique stuff that comes from Seattle that is not being introduced, to the rest of the world. I mean, like gigs, grunge music when it came out, like these are all things that were
absolutely.
When Jimi Hendrix was first coming out, people in the town didn't accept him. That's why he had to go to like London. Because same thing with Leon Hendrix. Like he goes on tour out of the country because they mess with us more over there, So
that is a big conversation.
We gotta give people what they want, no matter wherever they're at.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And that all kind of it's all inclusive on what our image is and what our vision is going forward, because we're like-minded individuals, but we are artists that want to see other artists flourish, because we know what it's like to be unseen. We know what it's like to be unheard. Definitely. And so, like, giving other people the opportunity to, it not only adds to your connections, adds to your network, but also it
adds to your capabilities.
It adds to your capabilities.
Because it reminds me of the Washington Hall event where you guys put everything together.
Exactly.
And I mean, for me, I always try to keep in mind wherever our platform is where the city's platform is, or other people's platform is. Whether they're higher or lower, we're all on the same level. None of us are, we're not no LA, we're not no New York, we're not no Miami. So us being one of the, big cities coming out the four corners of the country. I think Seattle does deserve to have its own status, style, fashion,
our own narrative, our own scene.
And it's all there. It's all there still. It just doesn't get the type of exposure that you would anywhere else.
Facts. And this idea is, it really is a new wave. Everybody who we've kind of just, told on the side about has been wowed by the idea of the fact that, we're going mobile and we're reaching out to, every community. It's not just, certain one community. It's not just King County. We plan on going beyond King County, beyond Pierce County, beyond Snohomish County. We plan on doing day trips.
Like locations, right? Because you're just kind of like, you're going to be doing maybe pop-ups. I want you to explain some of that. Like, what are your plans on going mobile? I'm interested myself.
So, this is just, some brand new news also, but they just broke ground of the Africatown Plaza in the Central District. And of course, that will probably be most likely like our main hub as far as like being consistently, in the area, showing face.
Yep.
But aside from that, we plan on going to every public, place that we know, or even kind of just, basing it around other community events and stuff. So it's not, that's what we've always kind of talked about, is we've never liked that whole aspect of how numerous events happen one day and people got to pick and choose which event to go to and stuff like that. So just being all inclusive, because we've hosted many events in the alley, and if you were there at the store at those events at the store, how brazy those events were. We went all out, like to the point where people didn't want to go to the ones that were like actually like at a club or something like that, like at Mint Lounge and stuff like that. People were in the alley with us kicking it, like, and so basically having that ability to pull up to these other locations just on the flip, indeed. It just it makes that experience much more, intimate. It makes it much more like basically being, we know what area we were in, especially in Rainier, in the Rainier Valley. We all grew up there, but
for everyone out there, that's South Seattle.
Exactly. But most of the excuses that we would hear, but most of what we would hear of people pulling up was, oh man, I couldn't make it. Oh, it's too far. Oh, it's out the way. So basically this is all eliminated. Like, we pull up on you.
We're
That
coming
is
to you.
that is
Simple
not
as that.
yeah, it's no more pull up to the store. We pull up on you. Just let me know. I will pull up.
Yeah,
Like
it's kind of like it's no longer gonna be, oh, I gotta go to this concert because
exactly.
you guys will be selling at the concert, and it'll be like you guys can combine that. And we seen with the Washington Hall event,
Exactly.
Seattle's local like rappers, musicians, singers, and then also all of Seattle's local clothing designers.
Exactly.
Oh yes, definitely.
Exactly.
Like, internet creators, like, and we were all in one hall together. We had the creators above on the upper level, and we had the musicians downstairs. It was like one of the most beautiful things I've seen. And Jimi
Exactly.
Hendrix also played at Washington Hall, so
Yeah,
that's legendary stuff in the making as well.
Yeah, hopefully
yeah, we definitely want to do some more work.
Yeah,
at
that's what I'm
Washington Hall
saying.
for sure, and get some future events going, and get some vendors,
Yeah.
local artists, all that. Showcasing is definitely like one of our focuses.
Facts.
Showcasing is big, especially when you realize all the untapped potential and
Facts.
talent too. 'Cause
Facts.
We're
So
getting a lot
overall-
of people that are stretching everything. I mean,
Yeah.
shout out C Mala with the gigs, showing it out to other
Come on.
artists and other celebrities. Now
Facts.
that's going to be a dance that could really shine and turn. I don't know, really make some moves.
Exactly.
And we know
influence, like,
we know
other
where it
states,
started
yeah,
at
with
too.
the-
We know exactly where it originated. Like it's crazy.
That's what I
Man.
want to get on Town Talk one of these days. I want you guys to get like Darion. We got to come on and just talk about the real people that create Seattle gigs. I know.
Oh man, we can go before them.
Yeah,
We can go. We can go with Corey Bland.
Hear me out.
Yeah, you never heard of that
Hear me
name.
out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Gigs.
I know you guys are part of it too, but I know C Mello definitely did not create Seattle gigs. He definitely is the one.
No,
he definitely-
like I
he's
just
definitely
said.
Yeah, he's
Like I
done
just
it,
I know
said.
he's the self-proclaimed number one gigger, but we know the truth. He's not the best gigger in our area. He's the best gigger that the world knows. Like people know him in other states. Okay, you've progressed our Seattle gigs, but us three, we know the real creators
Oh,
of
yeah.
Seattle gigs, and I'm in the room with some of them.
Come on.
Oh yeah,
Come on.
definitely.
We were well basically it was my speaking of this is just a little insight on the Seattle gigs, but the generation that created that was my older brother's generation. And they started that with the gigs with the hands. They didn't do much feet stuff.
Mhm.
They did the little they did the hand gigs, and they had the teams. They had the team iPod. They had
Team iPod.
they
When
had the-
iPod came out.
they had the
big
different
time.
but they were all about the hand movements and all that. But we're the ones that brought in the spins, that brought in
you
the
gotta get the footwork.
the offbeat kind of
Oh, yeah.
like run out the room, come back. We were doing the most.
But then you also named the credit to like some of the people that like kind of like really progressed it.
Oh, easy, Keith Davis.
Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah,
Keith
he's-
Davis.
Come on.
He transformed and he created a lot of.
He
New
might be
moves.
number one, low
New
key.
moves.
Like
Yes,
he
sir.
just was like coming up on the flip, and Keith is just so fast, and so he's a super athlete. Like especially in high school, he was literally like a superstar at every sport that he did. But
I also gotta throw you guys' names in there, Lil Stunt and Jskip.
Oh, yeah.
oh, facts.
When I was
Big time.
first
Every
entering
party.
high school into the party scene, you guys were running the party scene. Every
Facts.
party,
Yes,
girls
we're hosting parties at
what
16,
I'm saying.
17.
Yeah.
Girls,
So,
girls
like,
would come up to you guys, and you guys already know the deal. Trying to dance, all that.
man.
That's Leon. Hold up.
Oh, is he trying to join?
He's trying to. I told him I sent him the link, but he's over here calling me. I'm trying to show y'all the screen. And all that.
Always happy to have Leon. Come on.
Always happy to have a legend, man. Come
Need
on,
that knowledge, that daily wisdom.
come on.
Hey, Leon, join the link I sent you, the StreamYard. Right now, we're live right now.
That's Leon Hendrix, everybody. For those watching, living legend, sibling to Jimi Hendrix, the only one. Tap in.
Yeah, get your iPad. I texted it to you in our text message thread. Just click that StreamYard, the little duck face. Click that whenever you're ready, and we'll be on for the next 20 minutes.
And once again, shout out to Ancient Experience. We got some CBD organic hemp, 30% off while supplies last. Tap in.
Absolutely.
Come on, y'all.
I'm just looking at it like, man, them nugs look good, and that's CBD. That's not even THC.
Not even on THC.
Something.
You know?
Going off 50
That's-
states, y'all. Ancient Experience.
Come on.
So we're gonna try to get Leon here in about 10 minutes. Said he's gonna go to the studio so he can answer from there. So we'll
Gotcha,
try that
gotcha.
out
Come on.
and get the visuals back on for y'all.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to do a gig episode for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Get some founding fathers up in here.
Facts.
Definitely, but
Founding
oh
fathers.
yeah. Getting back to the Seattle gigs, I also gotta throw in Shadid, Darion.
Yep.
They were my age group, and we were going
Little
to
bros,
parties,
little
taking
cutties.
over.
Come on.
And at first, you know,
Definitely.
like you really had to grind to get your gigs right. Once you did, like,
Oh man,
girls would see you at parties and they would already
Man.
know the deal. And like,
I
really
s-
being one of the best Seattle giggers, like I took that to a cause level and all that, but we know the truth. Like,
oh,
Facts.
if you're really a good Seattle gigger, the people know.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. They know you.
That's what
Your
I'm
name goes
saying.
around.
It pretty much is like a hidden thing in the culture. Like they know of Seattle gigs, they just don't want to put it on a national level and really, you know, give us
Because they
that
would-
staple
They
and
would have to
credibility
staple
that we
us and
need.
give us that credit.
Exactly.
True.
And other people kind of got to admit to their to their faults, basically, to
Of
their
course,
fault.
of course.
Because I've been to, I mean, every city that I've been to. I haven't been to every city. I haven't even been to the East Coast like that. I've been to Miami, but every city I've been to, I've damn near danced at, you know, at least shown a little bit of Seattle
always
flair,
gonna
because
show out.
I
Always gonna show
I
out.
always have to, you know,
it's
I
my
have
blood.
that to my,
It's
I
in
have
blood.
that
It's
to
in
my
culture.
credibility. So every place that I've danced at and shown my little moves, the people have been wild.
Oh,
The
they be
people,
looking- they be like, wait,
phones
oh my
out,
goodness.
like it's back in the town,
Literally,
like
Miami, they loved it.
like, you know, and with that being said, you know, and I'm someone who's under 1,000 followers still to this day. I'm one of the most like notable people networking socially. I'm verified. Like I told Lou earlier, socially, if we were to talk about like face to face, who knows me? Oh, I'm verified. I'm probably like at if Instagram was real life, I'm probably at like, I don't know, like 50K or something like that. But I definitely have a blue check. But on Instagram, you know, people are weird. So I'm I'm still under 1,000. I'm real.
Here at Town Talk, we don't care about the social media.
Exactly.
That doesn't
Exactly.
because if you're really a original like Seattle kid that grew up in a town, like a city guy,
Yeah.
you really know the truth of who
Yeah.
you met back. Like social media came into play in the Seattle area about 2012, 2013. Before that, besides MySpace, we weren't really on that. It was just about word of mouth. Oh, it's a party this weekend. Oh,
Mighty
catch the
word.
bus.
Facts.
Let me hop on the 107.
Facts.
Stuff like that.
Facts. Had to be on the bus, had to meet people face to face.
I did still want to ask you guys again, though, before we get off the topic of your guys' big announcement. What does that title of being the first Black thrift store owners in Washington mean to you? Just real quick.
It means a lot to me. I mean, not only just being the first Black owned, but I guess being able to have the ability to say that you own something, obviously to take care of something is, you know, it's good. It shows a lot of responsibilities, but I think it's just good to have this information out that, you know, our kids, our grandkids can come back and look at us and see that we did this.
Yeah.
And so then they can reflect on that and be like, okay, you know, our ancestors did something. So we know that we have no choice but to do that or higher. Once again, setting that standard for, you know, the next generation.
Yeah. Real trailblazers. And
I think
know that that's possible.
Yeah, I think the biggest takeaway that I can have is that it's all about, I mean, building off of what Lou says is building that ancestral legacy to where, well, also recognizing that you have the capability to do it, but just knowing that you did it. Like, I think that's the biggest takeaway. Like I was yesterday, I was watching the Groovy Tapes episode with New Wave. You know, shout out to my brothers Tavares and
Shout out Groupie Tapes.
Tavares and Corey, you know, brothers for life. You know, that episode was so crazy. Tavares and Corey, you know, kind of pinpointed all the questions that, you know, a new Black business owner would have. But just like looking at, you know, that video, I just look at how youthful I looked and just, you know, how I was just constantly smiling and how I can't really get that back, you know, because of so much as that has happened, you know, us losing brothers and stuff like that. But, you know, reflecting on that whole experience, you know, you just think of what was going on during that time when we were going forward with the store. And I think of all the you know, people care. So they, you know, they're gonna voice their opinions, but I just think of all the naysayers that were like, why are you guys doing this? Why are you know, you guys are way too young for this, and
you're not gonna make
like,
money off of this.
you know, you're not gonna make money off of this, and this is just a horrible mistake. Oh, I had a bad dream about you guys, and it was just on and on and on. And that, I felt like, you know, that was already playing a role in, like, you know, just the kind of just anxiety of, man, is this gonna work out or not? But now reflecting on the whole experience, you know, obviously it worked out, but on the meaningfulness of the experience, in that we actually had something, you know, that we created as a unit, not just me, Lou, and Ant. It was the whole community. It was our brothers Elijah, Robert Brown, like literally everybody pulling up every day, you know, helping, and especially our brother Tudor. And for, yeah, rest in peace, Tudor Baker, you know, and absolute power, because, you know, you just reflect on those times, like, man, all these people, you know, we were going against what all they were saying, but we made something happen and we made it successful. And, you know, that's someone who spent their last days on earth making it happen for us. Yeah. And so you just got to appreciate that. Yeah, we actually, yeah, and Ezra Taylor, bro, you know, that's someone who
came to our last event,
but was undeniable supporter, like literally made their
before the event even started,
exactly,
set up, and then stayed until after the event,
exactly,
and put away,
you know, and you just think of these times, and you just think of how meaningful that is. What if you never had a store? What other experiences would you have? Would it be as meaningful? No, like, the store had to happen. And so really, like, just like reflecting on that, and my advice to give to the new, or the, you know, the next generation, or the new people out there looking to start a business and stuff like that, and are, you know, kind of debating, speculating if they should or should not, go for it. Because you're going to have these times to where, you know, you're going to have people who are no longer with you, to where you're like, man, that moment will now last forever. It'll last more than a lifetime, because we made something happen, something actually that, you know, the world could see, you know?
Yeah. It was crazy because we kind of like formed a team without even saying we're a team.
Exactly.
Like, no one had a specific role or anything like that. So it was crazy to have a team, and that team turned into a community. And when
absolutely.
you got something like that, I mean, you feel unstoppable. You got people that really backing you up, you know?
Man.
You know, so it shows, and it goes a long way. And
yeah, it's a risk that I would never regret taking.
Oh, no,
like,
not at all.
ever, because that's an experience that most people will never even have the fame to say they had, because, you know, they were one of the naysayers that probably even doubted themselves. And maybe that's the reason why they hate on everybody else, is because they just doubted themselves. But we had that experience with our brothers that nobody else can take away. And that's an experience that everyone aspires to have, like, when they're growing up, is to build a business with, you know, my best friends,
exactly,
with, you know, my cousins, with my whole family, like, you know, really building a legacy and having something to actually show for it. You know, many people can say they just made some stuff happen, made ideas happen. Like, you know, New Wave was an idea before me and Lou even met Anthony. Like, we were thrift shopping, talking about how we were just going to clean up stuff and, you know, resell it. You know, that was New Wave before Ant, but it wasn't, you know, New Wave yet. But when that idea came to fruition, it was just started. Yeah, it clicked, and it became more inclusive. And the more we went on, you know, the people who we were around the most, they automatically were riding for the idea, because they were right by our side anyways, but because they believed in us, and because they also supported, you know, the clothing and everything. You know, our biggest customers were the people who are in our inner circle, you know, and that's something that you definitely want to appreciate, and you want to also kind of, you just want to really, like,
cherish it and
keep cherish that, you know, especially
with the advancements. You guys are going to be definitely keeping it going in a new light, taking this show on the road and being in different locations. And
absolutely,
what it meant to me was, I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. I loved to brag about my older cousins having a shop on Rainier at. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
I tell everybody about that. And like, you guys have people of my age group come through. I would.
Oh,
be there with
absolutely.
them. It was the coolest thing. Like, it's
Yeah,
a blessing, and I'm so glad you guys are taking it to the next step, the next journey.
Man,
Absolutely.
Can't
No
wait.
way, man. We thankful for that, man. But let's before we get Leon on here. I'm still waiting for him to get in the backstage. I want to talk to you guys about a couple crazy things happening, like locally and maybe a little nationwide in the town and all that. So you guys heard about all these Chinatown businesses moving out of Seattle?
Chinatown.
So we love our Asian neighbors, of course, but I guess, we also have the best Asian food. We know
We
the
do.
The best teriyaki
We do.
in
Best
Washington.
Japanese
Best
food, best
teriyaki,
Japanese for sure.
yeah, Chinese, best Korean food, best Thai food,
Yeah.
best
And so what we knew about
All
Chinatown as of recently was, our other cousin, his car got broken into twice out there.
Facts.
I didn't really know if that was happening everywhere else. We got Leon in the backstage. I see him. We'll get you in here in a second, Leon.
Ciao.
Or actually, let's just react to the news with him. So let me add them on there.
What's up,
Leon,
you guys?
What up?
What up?
Let me turn it up.
Turn up.
Leon,
What's up?
joining the call, y'all.
How my people doing?
Oh, we good. We good. How you doing?
Come on, peace and blessings.
Come on.
I'm in my studio.
Hey.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's a nice little
It's
stuff.
looking good in there.
We was gonna do some live stuff, but I don't know how to work my iPod.
iPad?
You down in LA?
Yeah, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a live performance and capture it, and then George, I'm gonna have to send it to you later.
All right, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, we can re-premiere on the channel as if it was live.
Okay.
So, yeah, I got you. We can do that.
All right, you guys.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Oh yeah,
We
we
will,
stay in
for
tune.
sure.
Come on.
Okay, George, I'm gonna do the live thing, and then it's not gonna come through right here because my iPod's fucking up or something.
All right, Leon. You can hop off now and join later.
George, I should have called you earlier so you could have gave me some instructions.
Yeah.
But I'm
Yeah.
gonna do a live thing anyway, and I'm gonna send it to you afterwards, and you can post it whenever. Okay?
All right, cool.
Hey.
Appreciate
Hey, what's
Hey.
up? I can't hear you guys.
You can't hear us?
You're so far away. I'll be in Seattle next week.
it.
Hey,
Oh, yeah,
come
maybe
on.
Next week.
Yeah, Tina gonna drive up there with me when she comes down here.
All right, cool. Yeah.
Hold on, when are you coming?
Okay.
All right.
What?
Leon, they're gonna be here next week because they gotta go down
There's the
there.
drummer.
Oh,
Hey, Snake and Dave.
who's that?
These are my grandbabies. My
What up?
grandniece.
He's the one
Nephews.
that
What up?
Yeah.
sent the stuff to?
Yeah,
Oh,
grandnephews,
yeah.
grandbabies, my
Yeah.
family, and
Come on.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to get off right now, but I'm gonna send a thing to you live, George. You can post it later.
All right, cool, Grandpa.
All right, love you guys. All right,
All right.
bye.
Love you too.
Leon Hendrix, everybody. Yeah.
Come on.
He'll be on the show next week, as he said. So we'll check him out then. But yeah, my mom's flying down there next week, and he said that she'll drive back with him. So
Are they gonna make it to the Looney show?
well, she has to go visit my sister's other kids. That's the only time she can go. So I'm not sure
Yeah.
yet. We'll see though. We'll ask her after the show. But
Yeah.
just getting back to our news stuff. Let me see.
You said Chinatown though.
Yeah, Chinatown.
So there's actual businesses moving? Like is this
businesses are
real?
leaving the Chinatown district of Seattle due to the fact that many break-ins have been happening, and like with the new laws that are soft on crime in Seattle, there's been organized retail theft, and people have been hitting these stores like monthly, like robbing them monthly, and they're done with it. Like they're gonna move.
It sounds like an inside job.
It does sound like an inside job.
It sounds like an
And
inside
so the
job.
Chinatown businesses or owners are hiring private security because they need mob-like protection because there's not enough police in Seattle.
Well,
And-
technically.
and one like Asian store owner, she was quoted on King 5 saying, "Don't come to Third Avenue."
Don't come to Third
The
Avenue.
security is called Iron and Oak, unarmed, and they have a de-escalation focus. I mean, hopefully they can de-escalate the robbers, but I mean, yeah.
I'm
What do
like,
you guys think about that?
man, this is
That's
beyond
tough
me.
because it's tough because that's just the town. I mean,
Yeah,
it goes. I mean, crime has always been there, but I mean, it's a different world right now.
yeah.
It's just a different world.
It's hard to speak on as a business and dealing with crime and stuff like that, especially that involves like the damaging of your property and stuff, because we never experienced anything like this, and we are in the most hard hit part of Seattle, but mainly that is due to us being the the company that we are, and staying true to the mission of being a part of the community, staying true to the community. So I feel like maybe these attacks aren't exactly reflective on the businesses, but more of the people running them, because Chinatown does have, I can't have full sympathy for a lot of the business owners down there, because they've had a record of, having their racism, while also, being kind of stuck up. And, because there is a strong homeless community that's down in Chinatown, to where, I mean, you have to look at their side. Yeah, they do have to be strict, but some kind of go overbearing, to where, they seem like they were super protected, and they seem like they have cameras everywhere, and, lock gates everywhere and stuff like that. But people don't forget. You got to realize human beings are human beings, and you just can't talk to people how you talk to people. You can't treat people just how you just treat anybody. Human beings are human beings, regardless of their financial state. But
overall, I mean, people are gonna move out of Chinatown. But
exactly.
I'm sorry to say, but I don't see any change. I don't see. I don't see a solution for this. I don't
exactly
to say like security is going to be the change. Of robberies. That's just not the case.
Exactly.
Robberies are going to happen either way. If the person wants what they want, they're going to go for it. And we've seen it. People will be out of their minds, especially downtown. It does not matter. If there's something that they want, they're going to get it.
Especially if they think it's from people that don't like invest in their community or don't
care
for their people or their community, they're going to feel less about it. So, but your guys' shop does so much for the community, people would never even do that to you guys.
Exactly.
They know.
And we have natural eyes on our store. Like, even if there was someone who, like, say they just randomly hopped off the bus, they looked at our store and they're like, oh, I see some free shit like that I could just take. Like, all I got to do is smash this window. There would be someone else like watching that would be like, hey, before they even do anything, that'd be on them. So I feel like there's way too many people around for them not to be witnesses. Like, anytime something happens, someone definitely saw it happen from beginning to end, and they chose not to do nothing because they probably were like, it probably deserved to happen. Like, as far as the Chinatown business is moving, like, I'm unaware. This is my first time hearing it, probably because it's not businesses I really go to, like, that are trying to leave Chinatown. Probably ones that weren't really. I really can't speak on it, but I'm saying the Chinatown, the ones that are the diamonds in the rough, the cow, where you get the best, barbecue pork. That place is there to stay, regardless. The Pink Gorilla with all the old school games, that video game store is there to stay. Like the Iwijimaya, like all that is there to stay. So
no, they're gonna have people that always stay, but those you mentioned, you see, like African Americans like us, we feel welcome there. So
that's what I'm saying.
Invest there, we would never want to harm that location.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
aside from Chinatown, a couple other updates though that we're getting a little for like the 38-minute mark in the show.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Seattle concrete workers went on strike this February. Due to this, the West Seattle Bridge construction is being delayed even more.
Oh man,
and there's so much traffic due to the West Seattle Bridge being closed. West Seattle,
man. I stay in the West, so I feel every. Oh man, I feel that every day.
I'm tired of driving under the bridge.
I feel that every day. It literally is exhausting, like, for real. Like, the traffic is ridiculous, but at the same time, you're kind of happy that it happened to the West Seattle people, because they can, they by far have the best, view of everything, and they have, the richest people. Most of the richest people in Seattle over there. So you can't really have any real sympathy for them. But I think that we're all just looking at it as far as like the people who, go to West Seattle. We only go to West Seattle for Alki, really. And now it's really hard to get to because the bridge isn't there. But I feel like this whole bridge situation, I feel like the concrete workers like on strike. The reason why they're on strike is because they're not, getting the benefits and everything. But I don't think they ever were really getting the true respect that they should be getting. Because I mean, the light rail was built fast, and for that, they should have already, received, healthy bonuses and all that. Because my dad is a cement mason.
I mean, what are they missing? They're not getting the right insurance, or?
To be honest, I feel like it's just not the right budget because they were already.
I think they're battling for wages too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Fighting
It's
for wages?
fighting for wages because that's what it's always pretty much been. And the concrete industry is real cutthroat, and also it is white dominant, like the cannabis industry, because there's so much money involved.
With infrastructure comes land.
Exactly. But the reason why my dad and most of the people of color left the light rail project was because the company that was foreseeing the project being done, Trailer Brothers, they were racist and they won a racism lawsuit, like literally a multi-million-dollar racism lawsuit against these guys. But it was every person of color. Every person of color was discriminated against. Mexican, Native, and Black, all those guys. And that's, you got to think of how many Mexican, Black, and Native workers that they have. Like literally that was like almost like half of their workforce that they were making them, leaving them scraps at the end and making them do the worst shifts and just doing sneaky, slimy stuff that I don't even. Yeah, that was just plain racist. It wasn't even just bullying; it was just racist. But
overall,
when you have that instilled in your I guess in your work environment, it already builds up tension. And when you have big projects like this with the bridge and stuff like that, people want real benefits. They want to make sure it's done right this time.
Definitely. I mean, all I could say is, 3 words: pay them people.
Exactly.
We need
exactly.
them. I mean,
same thing goes with the Mariners. Come on, in the lockout.
They're helping building up our city. So I mean,
facts.
And we have potholes. Don't get me started.
Oh man,
the city has a lot of infrastructure needs, man.
Man, potholes, man.
And people are investing into the wrong things. Honestly, and speaking of investing into the wrong things, UW, University of Washington, located in the northern Seattle area, has a big thing going on where UW helped a jailed body broker, and that's why it was a tongue twister. A body broker who is people that sell body parts and then discard their remains just for people that need certain body parts after someone is deceased. So they helped a jailed body broker get donors on accident, what they say. So the person stole at least 29 bodies, took the parts, discarded the 29 remains of the bodies in an Arizona desert where the police found severed body parts all in one location. The guy had people call him and set up UW's their science program where their students would work on cadavers. They tell people on the website, hey, one of your loved ones passes away and they are a donor. Have them donate to the UW Science Institute. And so he bypassed that, had them call his number instead of UW, and he was meeting up with people, and they were dropping off their relatives' deceased bodies with him, thinking he was a UW worker.
Wow.
And he was one of the investors to keep the program going, but the whole time he's been using the program to sell body parts, which I think he's invested back.
So he was black market selling body parts and stuff like that?
Yeah, private body donation is a multi-million-dollar industry.
Wow, yeah, it sure is. First of all, after this, remind me to take off my donor.
Yeah, right? Man.
I'll definitely be taking that off tomorrow.
I definitely got a donor on my thing. I'm they will chop me up.
I want you to, be able to help, maybe even save a life or something, but if it's moving like that, return.
Yeah, I'll get buried by myself.
Yeah, I'll keep what I got.
But
that's crazy.
Oh, that's man.
Crazy.
I don't even know what to say on that. Yeah. That is just.
So the craziest part, I think, is one of the bodies they found in the desert was a missing person, so he at least didn't get all of them from UW. But it's just crazy because a family in Washington was called and they were like, "Yeah, we just found your family member's remains in Arizona," and they're like, what? He's been missing for this long. They thought it was like someone that donated the body to UW, but they're like, no, he's been missing. So it's really crazy. Like this is some fishy business.
Man.
I mean, UW Medical is one of the top programs, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing some extra stuff. I don't know.
But how could they act so clueless and say, "Oh, it was an accident," and this was going on for like years?
Well, like you said, it's a multi-million-dollar industry. So when you think of that, like it's just like sex trafficking. Like you're gonna have a lot of people that play dumb, even though they know exactly what's going on. Like a lot of politicians do. Like they definitely know who's behind the stuff. It's so much money invested that they can't, because that money's invested in what they're doing. Yeah. That money, if it's taken away, it could take away their job. Yep. It could, and with that, money taken away, it also exposes them and leaves them susceptible to possible jail time. If they're knowingly, doing stuff like this.
Yeah, UW is. UW medicine is looked at as an actual hospital.
Exactly.
So that's the total difference between a college, any other college hospital, on campus compared to this one. This one's like really
UW Medical.
People choose to have their kids at the UW hospital.
Facts.
They're researching on developing humans and things like that, and all the crazy futuristic stuff.
Facts.
That's their job. So
facts.
They don't got my support on any of that. I can tell you that.
Definitely,
sure.
us three. I think we're gonna stop being donors, and at least unless we know we can donate to our family or something. That's a terrible thing. Like if you donate your family's their deceased body, and it's like they want them to take them with respect. And your thought is, hey, I'm gonna donate them to UW. Students are gonna study them past their life. But that's just a terrible story, nonetheless. And that's a little bit of stories that kind of go on in the Seattle area that the nation ain't even talking about. But that's pretty big this week. But hey, man, we had a good show. Want you guys to wrap it up with a couple of words? Wavy Wednesday episode.
We got to do our shout outs. Shout out to everybody who came through the store. Try to get all the names. So first and foremost, got to shout out Arshawn, Wave Lord, Wish Baby.
Yes, sir. Wish Baby.
Bro really set the foundation. He had the spot before us. Yep. They had the studio there, and him, bro, Icy, the sunglasses, and there's just so many people involved. Forza and those guys, the Future Crystal guys, Boss Set, all those guys.
Mobile Cauldron Group.
Mobile Cauldron pulling up for the events.
That's another little showcase.
With them pulling up to the events, you can only imagine what they're gonna do alongside us. Every time we pull up, they pull up. Shout out to all the consistent customers that came sliding through. Rest in peace to our brother Ezra Taylor, one of the biggest supporters. Rest in peace to A1 Summers, Anthony Summers, always coming to slide through. And bro, Darius, bringing them through, D Terry, Showtime doing this thing for Northwest Select, go peep them out. If you got a kid that does hoop, or if you're a high school hooper looking to get somewhere, check out Showtime Terry, man.
There's so many people that came to support. Shout out to Proof in the Play.
Yes, sir.
Play. They came and did an interview.
Come on. Shout out Curtis Kurt for the for the Sleepless in Seattle event that he did. Curtis, man, you killed it, bro. And
keep doing it every year annual. We need that. Man, shout out White King for the Emotion Fest, of course. Every year,
breaking ground.
The city, keep doing your thing.
Man, we're about to have that African Town Plaza and gonna have it jumping. It's just gonna be.
For those of you that don't know, Emotion Fest is an African American link up every year.
Absolutely.
Junkins Park in Seattle, Washington, where all the different creators, food makers of our culture, both foundational Black Americans and Africans from the African continent, come together, and we just have a big event. It's beautiful everywhere.
Absolutely. Shout out to our brother Northwest Stead shooting the first commercial. Stedman. Shout out to our brother Michael Bine, Banco Media. Be sure to book your photography, sessions with bro. He is literally a whiz, with that camera.
Banco Media.
He's done nothing but, giving us that light our whole lives, of putting us in the spotlight that we feel we deserved and stuff like that.
Shout out to our out-of-state fellas, PVB.
Wow. And this is why we had to end it like this. Shout out to Colin White our brother.
Sir. Yes,
Positive vibes all day, because this is another aspect of inspiration. You know, this is, you know, a peer on our level, you know, as someone of our age that's doing amazing things. You know, he's a deep sea diver / seafood chef. He dives and gets the food that he's about to cook, but he's a mobile seafood diving chef. Like, he is literally
up the coast,
yeah.
all of the
How
coast.
many times you guys called me and said, this guy Colin just gave me a season count right now?
Come on. Come
Colin
on.
me
Literally.
anywhere, and even
Literally.
when he went to his hometown, the Bay, he was
Come
like,
on.
oh, I'm gonna make it. Bro, still pulling up.
Come on.
Man.
Always pulling up.
for sure.
Always pulling up. And that was a big inspiration on us going mobile, is because just seeing how bro did it, you know, and that's someone, you know, who's on our level,
Yep.
you know.
And he's always kept the same energy.
Exactly.
The whole point of his brand is positive vibes. So
Exactly.
he's always kept that positive vibe and brought it to every city, town, you know, state that he's went to. So, you know, that's a big inspiration on what we want and what we want to, you know, bring out of New Wave.
Exactly. So shout out to everybody who's been involved, everybody who started out with us at that Washington Hall event, the end of the decades event, you know, from the performers down to the vendors. You know, everybody has done amazing things. Shout out to our brother Moose Burgers. You know, go get you some pies, you know, go get you some of their sauce and all that. You know, this is so much that has just, you know, a lot of people, it seemed like as soon as we got the store, it just elevated everybody to
at that point they knew you guys were they're all in on this. It's all money.
Exactly.
Shout out the whole town for that.
Shout out.
Support.
Shout out.
And
Shout
this
out.
has been Town Talk podcast with another Wavy Wednesday episode.
Come on.
And last thing I'm gonna say, y'all, is check the YouTube description on this video and go check out Ancient Experience, y'all.
Come on.
And y'all gotta get that stuff because CBD is healing us, and Black folks need either CBD or therapy. So,
new medicine.
Because we got PTSD from slavery and genocide.
And we don't end on that note, y'all. Thanks for tapping in. Like and subscribe. We out.